Hey Heidi Ho, welcome back to ABTG. We're back at it talking about another movie. This time we're talking about LUCA, the latest Disney Pixar release, the Pixar Studios release. This is what happens when I talk about Pixar films. I kind of compare them to other Pixar films, because if you were to take Luca and compare it to any other goddamn bullshit that comes out through Illumination or DreamWorks or Blue Sky, even though Blue Sky is now dead, it's miles ahead, right? And yet, I find myself considering Luca a kind of mid-range Pixar film when compared to all of the other Pixar films. Alright, Luca is very simply the story of a merfolk or a mer person. Luca is a person of the sea living below the waters in the Italian Riviera. He goes up to the surface one day, finds a friend that apparently is pretty much like him, except that he's been living on the surface rather than down the sea. And these two friends go on a land adventure in the nearby little Italian village. It's a story about friendship. It's a story about change. It's a story about parenthood. It deals with abandonment and loss. It deals with growing up, because it is, to some certain extent, I suppose, a coming-of-age story. It doesn't deal too much with the actual, I suppose, lore or backstory of being these sea monsters, as the humans call them, the merfolk. Does that matter does that matter too much, big picture-wise? No, I don't think so. I would have liked to explore the ocean a bit more and explored more of that world, but it doesn't really play in too much, I suppose, thematically with what the film was trying to say, especially considering the movie was, very much about visually showing life in a small Italian village. So why do I think this movie is mid-range Pixar and not one of the, strongest outings? Quite simply, I think it's because it's somehow less about the characters than it is about the place this time around. And I respect and I very much love the fact that everyone puts so much into making kind of the Italian summer experience something that you feel throughout the movie. And you really do feel that. You feel the heat of the film coming at you as if you were there. Everything is beautiful. It's visually stunning. There's no doubt about it. The art style, I think, is just absolutely amazing. Does the animation itself push the limits of what animation can do currently? I would say no. Then again, I don't know enough about animation to really, assert that, but I feel like other films from Pixar, when they came out, were kind of like staples in what the next generation of animation will do, whereas this one, I feel, is kind of just riding on what Pixar already knows how to do. But yeah, the art style itself, I think, was fantastic. The characters, everyone's very expressive. The wife and I kind of got those La Luna vibes from it. There's also a lot of Finding Nemo kind of aspects to it. But yeah, the characters, I don't know. I loved them all. Everyone's great, but they just didn't dive deep, so to speak, or as deep as they could, I feel, into really the core of who they are or what they were going through. I think that maybe cutting a few characters out of the movie, there's a whole subplot with characters looking for other characters. Maybe if we'd taken the people that were searching out of the film entirely and focused more on the central characters, maybe we could have got more out of them. Because as it stands, astonishingly, I never got that heartbreaking moment. I know that Pixar used to have this formula where they open the movie with this horrible thing, and I'm glad they don't do that every time, because, it gets a little, I suppose, redundant, but there was never a moment where I felt the movie really pulling on my heartstrings this time around, which was bizarre. I really thought that would happen. Usually I try to find something to say about the voice acting when it comes to animated movies, but I got nothing really to point out. Not to say the voice acting's bad, quite the contrary. The voice acting is good. It's just that nothing really blew me away, like, for example, in Soul. The music, however, was amazing. I loved it. The scoring was just fantastic. It's this orchestral, crescendoing, big, dramatic fanfares of exquisite sound. I loved it. Sometimes it was a bit more intense than the actual scenes they were showing. But yeah, the music was great. And yeah, the directing was spot on. This comes back to the art style, or should I say the effort that they put into the environments that we were talking about earlier. But just every shot was just stunning. The angles that they took, the way they lit the environments and the backgrounds was fantastic. So yeah, it's a visually stunning film. You can feel that heat. You feel like you're in Italy. I used to live in the south of France, and it resembles Italy a lot. It's all that Mediterranean vibe, and so I almost felt like I was home for a while, dare I say. It was a fun movie. It just wasn't the best thing that Pixar have ever put out. Of course, I do mean that with the utmost respect, and a huge round of applause and congratulations to everyone that worked on this. Please don't don't watch this video and think I'm shitting on you. You guys did a great job. Luca is Luca's a good movie. Luca's good. Alright, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.